Anything with Kate in it, I'm just grinning from ear to ear, smiling like, oh, she's so cute and so sweet. She's just living life, living, laughing, loving. I love her, yes. But then it didn't feel like anything was like truly solved. Then they were suddenly kissing and I'm like, okay guys, maybe let's talk a bit more. When it's like, I support women's wrongs, I definitely support women's wrongs in this time period, because like what else was there to do? Like the odds were stacked so far against you, like you were doing anything to just survive. So if you did something wrong, like I support women's wrongs in this society.
How y'all doing?
Hello, it is June 13th, which means the final 4 episodes of Bridgerton have just dropped, and now it's time for me to watch them. It's time for us to watch them. Let's dive in. I did a Bridgerton season 3 part 1 video. Go check that out if you haven't. Me gabbing, talking about the first 4 episodes, and now we're about to watch the last 4. So here's part 2. If you've seen my first part video, I'm gonna do this one a bit different. So basically in the first part of this, talking about the first 4 episodes, I watched all the episodes and then I did my like talk about all of them all together. I watched all of it and then I talked about it. For this one, I want to watch it one by one. So like watch the episode, then talk about it, watch the next episode, then talk about it with you guys. You know what I mean? Doing it the other way, I don't know, it just felt a bit not the vibe, and I want to try this out and see if I like it better, because I don't know, I kind of like the more real-time reaction, like watching the episode and then like immediately talking about it and reacting to it, rather than watching everything and then talking about it. Does that make sense? I don't know. Probably not. Nothing I say ever truly makes sense. So yeah, I want to try it this way, see if I like it, mainly because I'm trying to figure out how I want to do The Bear. When I watch The Bear season 3, I want to figure out a nice way to talk about that. Also in that first part, it felt like I was missing a lot of stuff because like I had watched everything and then the day after, that's when I did my talk about, and then I felt like I accidentally said wrong things or like missed talking about like important stuff. So I think me doing it this way, watching an episode then talking about it, will make me not forget things. It also might just be more fun. I don't know, I want to do it this way, so we're gonna try it out and see what happens. Anyway though, I'm about to jump into the first episode and then I will talk to you guys after that first episode, and I'll talk to you about my reaction, my thoughts, my thinks, my thonks, all the things that I want to say about it. Here's the quick synopsis summary of episode 5 as per Netflix. Lady Whistledown's surprising engagement announcement reverberates through the ton while Penelope grapples with the need to disclose her true identity. Let's freaking tap in. I'm ready. And we're back. I just finished watching episode 5. I have so many notes. My laptop's right here, so that's why I'm looking this way. But I have a lot of notes. We'll see what makes the cut. I don't want to be talking forever, man. We'll see what happens. Okay. I hate starting at the ending, but I will just say really fast the ending of this episode. That's all I have to say about that, which was no words, but it's fine. So the engagement announcement was very sweet and wholesome, and I actually really like that a lot. And then it's so funny, just like Eloise standing in the back like, excuse me. But it's funny because like I get it when it's like, we're in the biggest fight that we've ever been in. You've lied to me, you've kept secrets from me, blah 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 blah, and now you're marrying my brother? And now you're marrying my brother. Now you've liked my brother all this time, now you guys are getting married. Are you kidding me? Like, I get it, I actually get her, and honestly, no offense or anything, but cute best friend's brother by Victoria Justice, please and thank you. Thank you. Also, if you hear my chair squeaking, it's squeaky chair. What else is new? I don't know. Next up, we briefly go into a Benedict and that lady scene. Still don't care about her, still don't care about their storyline. And anyway, I definitely said this in the first part of my video, but I can't wait for us to finally like tap into whatever his storyline ends up being, because like what I read about his book being about, we're not there yet. It's like, you know, the lady he's with right now isn't the lady that he's gonna end up with at the end of the day. So I can't wait till we finally like tap into his season and just like, you know, get some more depth to that man, because he's fun and he's funny, but I want some depth to him. Please let's tap into that man and get some depth. Thank you. Next, oh my god, when Anthony and Kate came back on my screen, I was screaming, I was crying, I was throwing up. Just kidding, I was screaming though. I can't believe they're back. Also, she's pregnant. They're just so sweet and cute and happy, and I love them, and I love them, and I love them, and I'll just keep saying that I love them, and they're so sweet, and I love that they're happy, and I love that they're in love, and she's pregnant, and they're happy, and they're just so cute, and I will keep saying that. I will forever say I love Anthony and Kate. Thank you. Next, we learn that Cressida is marrying an old man, and honestly, I just don't get why she doesn't have like pics, like why she hasn't been like wifed up yet, because like if the Feathering sisters, no offense to them, but they're so, you know, annoying, if they can find love, Miss Cressida can freaking find something that is like age appropriate. Maybe a guy that's like, you know, that she's not in love with, but like she can find a guy that's like fine enough to be with, that she doesn't have to end up with a man that's literally her great-great-grandfather's age. I don't get that. Then I think I might be skipping some stuff, but I don't care because I'm only talking about the stuff that kind of like stood out and like mattered and was important to me. Sorry about it. But Colin defending Penelope to her mom was actually very sweet. Honestly, I still love Mama Featherington. I get her. I get, you know, she's just doing what she can as a woman in this society, trying to protect her daughters, trying to take care of them, trying to take care of herself, you know, blah, 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 blah. I don't know if I necessarily agreed with the vibes that she was spewing in this episode, you know, whatever. But at the end of the day, I still stand by her and I still support her. I will support all women in the show. When it's like I support women's wrongs, I definitely support women's wrongs in this time period because like what else was there to do? Like the odds were stacked so far against you, like you were doing anything to just survive. So if you did something wrong, like I support women's wrongs in this society. So I support Mama Featherington. Thank you. Okay, now let's take a brief moment of silence for the mirror scene, the iconic mirror scene. I've never read the books, but I've heard about the mirror scene, honey. So let's take a brief moment of silence. Brief moment of silence for that one. All right, let's move on now. Anyway, the cut to Anthony lying on Kate's stomach and like kissing her belly. Once again, I'll say it again because I don't care. I love them, I love them, and I love them, and I love them. And I'm so glad that we get to see the payoff of them being happy and in love and pregnant, having kids. Like, I just love that we get to see the payoff of that. Next, the Eloise and Kate scene. Yes, yes, yes. I loved that. And I hate the fact that it was so short. Give me more of that, please. Thank you. Anything with Kate in it, I'm just grinning from ear to ear, smiling. Like, oh, she's so cute and so sweet. She's just living life, living, laughing, loving. I love her. Yes. What's her real name? Oh my God, I can't think of her real name right now. It's not anywhere. I don't know, but Simone Ashley. Whoa, it just came to me so crazy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's her name and I love her. Okay, so basically the queen puts out a bounty on Lady Whistledown's head. Basically like, whoever finds her, you're gonna get a $5,000 reward, which is honestly kind of funny. And I do love a witch hunt vibe and I hope it's done well. I think it could be funny. I think it could be fun and I think it could be kind of cool. Mainly funny. And by the end of this episode, you'll know exactly why I think it's very funny. I lost my spot in my notes. Where am I? Alice and Will. We finally get to see them again. I love that. Love them. And also their kid, Mr. Lord Kent. I should be professional when I address this little boy. He's also very adorable. And I love them. And then at the end, I'm gonna skip just for a second, but then at the end, him like vibing with like Hyacinth and Gregory. It's like, yes, you have friends. Oh, this is so cute. I love it. So then we skip to, I'm guessing it was their engagement party. I'm pretty sure it was their engagement party. It felt very like fast, but everything happens fast in this. So that's why I'm like, okay, yeah, this is just probably their engagement party, even though it was literally the same day, basically, of them getting engaged, which is awesome. I love a quick put together party that looked good, and all of the food at that party looked so good. I want to go and eat some of those pastries. But anyway, at their engagement party, Eloise gives Penelope an ultimatum, Cinderella vibes of like, tell them by midnight that your lady will slow down, blah 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 blah. Kind of fun. I love the stakes. I love stakes. I love when the stakes are risen. It stresses me out, but it makes things more interesting. So even though I am stressed out and sometimes a bit annoyed, I do love the drama of it all. At the end of the day, I do love the drama of it all. And then we cut to a charades. We see them playing charades, as they say it, charades. And it was a very interesting version of charades that I'm like, wait, what is this game? I was very confused. They were reading riddles, and then somebody had to figure it out, and whoever figured it out, then it's their turn. But also at the same time, I do like this version of charades because you're not the person up there, like, you're doing none of the work. You're just reading from a book a riddle for somebody to like figure out. So that's kind of like cool. But as the person, like, if I was just like playing the game, like trying to guess the riddle, it was a bit hard. I don't think I'd be able to do it. So yeah. I don't know why I needed to say any of that, but I do want to say Anthony during the charades game was actually hilarious. Him getting so intense immediately was awesome. I want to insert that clip. I will try my hardest to.
Product of spring, surely a flower of some kind.
Lilies. Forget me not. Lilacs!
No.
And finally, the last like 5 to 7, maybe even like 10-ish minutes of this episode were so stressful. There was so much going on. The score was scoring, making me feel so confused and like nervous and like scared in a way. It was just like so much going on. Cressida saying that she's Lady Whistledown. Girl. I'm sorry. It shouldn't be that funny. It shouldn't be that funny, but it was just like, it all just like coming to her like so abruptly and her being like, you know what? I'm gonna say I am Lady Whistledown. Girl, no. And I'm sorry my chair's squeaking, whatever. But okay, Cressida saying she's Lady Whistledown. Penelope having a panic attack because she didn't like tell Colin at 12 o'clock and like now Eloise is about to like go tell her whatever. Her having a panic attack and then fainting. And then meanwhile, Anthony and Kate are just like, hey, we want to tell everybody that we're like pregnant. But like their spotlight keeps getting stolen by everybody else announcing their own things. That was peak comedy. Them finally being like, okay, let's tell everybody that we're pregnant. And then Cressida being like, I'm Lady Whistledown. And then Penelope suddenly fainting. And then they're just like, oh, we just wanted to say our news. And that was episode 1. Not episode 1. I keep saying episode 1 even though it basically feels like episode 1. I meant to say episode 5. That was episode 5. I'll see you after I watch episode 6, which is right here, and I'll read the synopsis very quickly. It's titled Romancing Mr. Bridgerton. A desperate imposter strives to publicly win the queen's favor. Penelope races to write an urgent missive. I don't know what that means. Whatever. But has the damage already been done? And that's episode 6. I'll see you once I watch it. Did any of what I just said make sense? Probably not. Okay, bye. And we're back now after watching episode 6. I have many things to say. First thing I want to say is once again low-key starting at the end. One thing Bridgerton knows how to do is end an episode on a cliffhanger. I will say that. And I both hate it and love it for doing that. Maybe more so hate it. Let's begin. So Cressida, as we learned in episode 5, she decided to say that she's Lady Whistledown. And honestly, I'm like, why would she do that? Because now the queen is gonna like want to kill you. Because at the beginning of this episode, they get like summoned for like the queen or something. In my head, I'm like, yeah, girl, why would you think like this would be a good idea to say that you're Lady Whistledown? Like the queen is going to want your head. The queen is gonna want to behead you now. Like, are you well? Are you crazy? Why would you do that? And it's also funny how everybody's like, her? This girl? I'm done talking about that for now. Anyway, Alice and Will are gonna be throwing a ball as per Lady Danbury's request. I love that. And you know what? Let them throw their balls. And you know what? Let them be posh and high members of society and just have a good time with their newfound riches. Thank you. Also, kind of like immediately in this episode, we find out that Francesca and the Kilmartin guy are getting married. Surprise, surprise. Not surprised. And once again, I kind of don't really care about this storyline, but I will also say go read up on her book if you want a bit of tea, I guess. But it's also funny because like the way they're pushing this, I'm like, wait, are they just gonna up together or is it going to be whatever happens in her book? IDK. I wish I knew. We'll see what happens, I guess. Okay, then we go into something where Eloise is about to tell Colin the truth about Penelope being Lady Whistledown, but then at the last second she decides not to do it. So then she goes over to Penelope's house and is like, Penelope, you know what? Don't tell him. Just stop being Lady Whistledown. Don't tell him the truth. Like the truth will destroy him. And you know what? In a way, I kind of get it, but he still deserves to know the truth. Like, I'm sorry, but like he still deserves to know the truth. Like at the end of the day, like he needs to know. He can't love you fully, Penelope, if he doesn't know the true you. And if he doesn't like that you're Lady, well, I mean, she did do some crazy things whilst Lady Whistledown, but he should know. But love conquers all. But he should be okay. I don't know. Earlier I said I love steaks and I love a bit of like some spice to things, but this case I'm like, wait, I mean, she did kind of say some crazy stuff about family and then Marina and Eloise, but love conquers all. Love conquers all. So if he really loves you, you guys can get through this. Penelope, he needs to know the truth, babe. He needs to know the truth. I'm pretty sure I've definitely said this a lot at this point, but I love Mama Featherington and I completely get her. I completely stand with her, and I'm fully saying this because of that scene with her and Penelope. I will try my hardest to insert that scene because it's just so perfect and explains the exact reason why I'm like, I get her. I understand her. She's just trying to survive. She's the definition of me supporting the woman's wrongs because I just get it, and I'll try to insert that scene. I'll try my hardest, but we'll see if I get copywritten to death. So if I can't insert it, I'm sorry. If I can, enjoy.
I chose a match for security, and he could not even provide that. But he gave me you girls. And my greatest wish has always been for you three to do better than I did. And you have.
Okay, for this next note I wrote down, I'm already forgetting what exactly part this happened in, but I think it was like the boys, they were having a little bit of a gab, boy drink sesh in the middle of the night. I think it was Will, Benedict, Colin, and then the Kilmartin guy. And then Colin just randomly mentions, he's like, I think I'm gonna turn my writings into a manuscript. So Colin author era, why does that make so much sense? It actually makes so much sense. I get it for him. And then we move into Alice and Will's ball, and the queen at that ball. The queen was looking dang good at that freaking ball. And then finally, we learn why Lady Danbury hates her brother. Finally, we learn it. And honestly, such a valid reason to hate him. He basically ran to their dad and like told on her because she was about to like go run away before she was getting married, and he like told the dad. Very valid reason for hating him. And I stand with her. I stand with Miss Lady Danbury. Woo! Okay, and then there's like the Benedict storyline still going on, and I don't get what's going on with it, like the lady, and now this guy's part of it, and now they're about to try to have a threesome, but then he ran off, but then Benedict ran off, so I don't really get what's going on, but I am a bit interested now for once, finally, but I still don't get it. Are we getting a Benedict gay arc finally, which I've been speculating since season 1, or he's like starting to mature and like grow up? He's like, oh, I don't want to do that kind of thing anymore, just like sleeping around or whatever. He like actually kind of really liked that lady and like wanted something more to happen with her, more serious maybe. I don't know what's going on, but I'm actually kind of interested, so we'll see what happens. Okay, and then we cut back to the ball, and then it's like the Cressida and her mom like entrance moment to the string version of Confident by Demi Lovato, and I'm sorry, but that was a bit cringe. I'm sorry, but that was a bit cringe. Don't hate me for saying that, but it was. And honestly, I think the entire like Cressida pretending to be Lady Whistledown storyline that's going on, it's just a bit cringe to me. I'm sorry. And like I said, I did say I support women's wrongs in this time frame because all they're trying to do is just survive in this like world that they're living in, you know, with the cards they're dealt, the hand that they've been given, which is like kind of no hand at all because they're women, nobody respects them in the society, blah blah blah. But that doesn't mean I can't make fun of them a bit. But you know what I mean? Like, I still support what she's trying to do. Not support it, but like I still get what she's trying to do and I don't hate her because of it. But that doesn't mean I can't like be a little cringed out by it, right? Sure, I'm just gonna justify that to myself. Yes, I can be a little bit cringed out by it. Whatever, sue me. I don't know, man. And then there's a sweet but stressful but sad scene between Eloise and Penelope. But at the end of the day, it looks like my girls are becoming friends again, so I am grateful for that sweet, sad, stressful, nervous, anxiety-induced scene. And I don't think I want to speak on it further because I will butcher trying to rehash that. But basically, I think we're getting there. We're getting close to my girls becoming friends again, and that's all I've ever wanted. Please. I'm begging, please let them become friends again. Please. We're at the end of the episode now, and Penelope goes to put out her final issue because she wants to debunk Cressida being Lady Whistledown because she just can't bear it because it's gonna create a whole monster if like Cressida truly becomes Lady Whistledown. So Penelope's rushing to put out an issue to debunk everything that Cressida put in her little published little moment. So she's rushing to the little publishing thing, and then Colin sees her. He actually looked very angry too. He was like, "You're Lady Whistledown? I can't do it." We'll insert it maybe. So then he says that, and then she's just like, shocked, surprised, gobsmacked, whatever. And then the episode ends. So like I said at the beginning of this, the one thing Bridgerton knows how to do is end an episode on a cliffhanger, baby. Now I'm gonna go watch episode 7 so I can see what happens on this cliffhanger because I'm stressed. And also during that entire moment of him like just finally finding out that it's her, I was laughing, and that's only because I laugh in uncomfortable and awkward situations. That was like so uncomfortable for me because I'm scared to see what happens next, so I had to laugh to keep from feeling anything else. Just me? Am I the only one that does that? I don't know, man. If you also do that, hey. Alright, I'm done talking. I'm watching episode 7 now, and then we'll talk after that. Episode 7, Joining of Hands. Here's the summary. A shocking column fuels the Queen's search for the real Lady Whistledown. As the wedding looms, Penelope questions her future as a wife and scribe. I'll see you after I watch that. Signing off for now. Thank you. And here we are, back once again. Lighting's a bit different. It's gotten late. I'm getting tired. We have one more to go though. But first, let's talk about episode 7, of course. I feel like I look like a floating head. It's fine. So we begin with the continuation of him finding out. He's like, what the heck, you're Lady Whistledown? I can't believe it. You know, shocked, startled, surprised, angry, of course. Honestly, that entire scene of him like finally knowing that she's Lady Whistledown, it felt like a dream sequence, but only because like everything that could go wrong, like did go wrong. He was literally like, I will never forgive you. Like, I can't believe this. He was like crying a bit too. It literally felt like a dream sequence because of how like everything that she thought was gonna happen like quite literally happened. Like, he was absolutely devastated by that news, but it makes it even sadder that it wasn't a dream sequence and all that was real. So yeah, that was pretty gnarly. Some point during the beginning of this episode, we have like a little Eloise and Benedict moment, and honestly, I love when those two like get a moment together because like that was like one of my favorite parts of season 1. Like the little moments that they would have. It's just like they're just such like a nice little duo. Keep giving me moments of them. Thank you. Like that's all I have to say. And honestly, it's funny because this moment was very short-lived. It was like them like walking, and then Penelope showed up to talk to Eloise. So like it was barely even a moment. We barely got any like dialogue between the two of them, but it was still something. And I'll take the crumbs, honestly. Next, there's kind of a moment where we have a bit of a Violet x Mama Featherington duo moment. I'd be very down if like we full send at that. They would be a force to be reckoned with, I think. Like Mama Featherington's like strong-willed, powerful vibes, and then Violet's sensitive, but then like she's also got some tricks up her sleeve kind of vibe as well. Imagine a Mama Featherington x Lady Danbury duo. Now those are two powerful ladies, please. Crazy things would happen if those two paired up for something. Women would get the right to vote. Women would be able to do whatever they want. Like, I'm kidding. Not kidding. I think they would. I think they would serve and do like really great things together, but that's a far-fetched dream. I could never see them ever talking, honestly. But it would be cool though. Okay, so then Benedict and his lady, I still don't know her name, Tilly? Something like that. Anyway, they have a little combo moment, and I think we're finally going to be getting our Benedict exploring his sexuality arc, which, like I said, I've suspected since season 1. Finally, we're getting that. Hopefully, we'll see. Can't wait. Okay, I love that we finally kind of had a super honest-ish combo between Colin and Penelope. You know, he was asking like the hard-hitting questions, and her finally giving some honest answers. Like he was like, why did you say all that stuff about Eloise? She was like, it was misguided. I was trying to protect her. He's like, why did you say all that stuff about Marina? She was like, I was trying to protect you. Then he's like, well, why didn't you just tell me yourself? And then she's like, there's a lot of things I should have done. Like, I know, I'm sorry. Like, we can't change the past now, but blah, 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 blah. And honestly, like, great conversation. We love the honesty. We need to get it out. We need to talk. We need to get through this, right? But then it didn't feel like anything was like truly solved. But then they were suddenly kissing, and I'm like, okay, guys, maybe let's talk a bit more. We still have things that we need to discuss. So, like, maybe let's keep talking before we start dilly-dallying on the street, if you know what I mean, you know? Yeah, all right, yeah, let's talk. And then right after that, we have another Kate and Anthony appearance. Literally, I love them, and I will keep saying that. Like I said, I will say that until I can no longer speak. And I will once again say it, I'm just so glad we are getting the payoff and like seeing them actually together. Because then in season 2, we didn't really we saw them happy, but we didn't get a lot of happy moments. So I'm glad we can see the continuation and them just being happy and in love and having their perfect little marriage. And she's like, wait, but we're not that perfect. And he's like, wait, but like, are we like, but we are perfect. Oh, they're so freaking cute. Okay, so yeah, we have the Kate and Anthony moment, and they're talking to Colin. Mainly Kate is giving like some really good advice to Colin, and Anthony's just there being like a sweet little lover boy husband, you know, agreeing with his wife as he should. But Kate's giving like some really good advice, and I think Colin's like coming around to the idea of Penelope being Lady Whistledown, and he's finally accepting that, and he's like realizing like, I still love her so much. This one thing, even though it is a big thing, huge thing, but that's not enough to make me not want to be with her forever and be so deeply in love with her, you know? He's finally starting to come around to that. We're cooking, we're seeing what's going on. And then I actually really loved the reconciliation moment between Lady Danbury and her brother. We needed that, and I just do love when siblings are finally like making peace with each other after like somewhat of miscommunication, but then also just like we're both different people now, and we're both kind of just like products of our environment, and we're both trying to survive and like do what we thought was right at the time, but now we're like adults, and it's just like at the end of the day, you're my sister, I'm your brother, like we should have peace with each other. They're on good terms, they're getting in a good place. I love that. Cool. Let's take a moment of silence for Penelope's wedding dress, please, and thank you. Let's take a moment of silence for that, and let's also take a moment of silence for the fact that Yellow by Coldplay, the strings version, was playing as she walked down the aisle. That was really cute, and I absolutely love that. And also, they have a ton of things that they need to talk through and work through, but their wedding moment, her and Colin, very cute actually. Very cute and sweet. And this is why we love a friends to lovers story arc, baby, because they just be in love. They just do be in love, you know? And at this little wedding breakfast, post-wedding, whatever thing this was, we got another Benedict and Eloise scene. This one was a little bit more of a heart-to-heart moment, which I liked. And also, what did I do to deserve another Eloise x Benedict moment? My prayers were answered. I love that. Thank you. Awesome. And then, oh my gosh, the queen showing up to the wedding breakfast and kicking everybody out except for the Bridgertons was scary, but in like the best way possible. It's also funny because during that moment she was like, come on, somebody has a secret, like which one of you are Lady Whistledown, freaking come forward now. I really was like, Penelope, just go forward, like just go forward, come on, at this point, like let's just freaking do this. But she didn't do it. And then after that moment, the queen is like, okay, fine, nobody wants to come forward, I will, you know, we'll find out which one of you it is soon enough, blah 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 blah. And then Colin walks off, Penelope follows him, and he's like, oh good, I'm glad you didn't say that it was you, but this just shows like you need to give that up. And she's like, you don't understand, like this is who I am, like I am Lady Whistledown, you don't understand, you are not a woman, I have to give up everything all the time, and this is the one thing I have, like I'm not giving that up. And he's like, well, I cannot accept that. Now we're at a little bit of an impasse. He walks off, sleeping on the couch. Wedding night? Not tonight. And then I know we're very much in a bad place between Colin and Penelope right now, but my girls are friends again. But my girls just became friends again because Penelope was crying and Eloise came up and was like, you know what, let me hug you, girl, it'll be all right. And in my eyes, that means my girls are finally friends again, and that's all that matters to me. Thank you. And that was episode 7. Oh, okay, actually I forgot about like kind of maybe the most important moment, which was like sort of the cliffhanger, but at the same time I'm like a weakish cliffhanger compared to the other cliffhangers we've left on so far in these last few episodes. But Cressida's doing stuff. She's like trying to figure out her life. Everybody hates her. She's about to get sent off to like be with her aunt in like the country, whatever. So she's trying to like, you know, make a final rescue mission for herself, kind of a vibe. I don't even know how to explain all of this because yeah, but somehow she ends up at like one of the publishers, and she's like wants to get the money for like the little Whistledown that she published, but then the guy that works there is like, no, we don't publish for Whistledown. He's like, oh, I always wanted to meet Whistledown, and like at the old publishing house I worked at, they like knew her a lot, but then they said that she was a redhead. Now why is this boy talking? Answer me that. Why is he talking? But she hears redhead and she's like, oh my gosh, redhead, oh, tell me more, what else have you heard about her? And then he tells her a bunch of stuff that we don't hear, but it's basically probably everything that will lead her to Penelope. So that's awesome. And that's how episode 7 ended. And now we're moving on to episode 8, which is the final episode. It's called Into the Light. I don't feel like reading the summary right now, so I'll do it later after I watch it. And that's that. See you after. Woo! Hello, we've officially made it to me finishing the last episode of Bridgerton season 3, and we've also made it to me in my final form, which is tired girl that is very tired and wants to go to sleep. It's really not even midnight yet, but I'm tired, guys. Jeez, I'm just a girl that wants to go to sleep at the end of the day, like whatever. Anyway, like I said, I finished episode 8, and let's talk about it. But first, let me read the summary for episode 8. Here it is. With the rival threatening to divulge her secret for money, Penelope chooses the best path forward as her relationships and livelihood hang in the balance. I feel like it looks so funny. Floating head, but like even more floating head vibes, you know what I mean? Anyway, let's finally jump into me talking about the last episode of Bridgerton season 3, episode 8, Into the Light. Here we go. So we begin things with a cressida blackmail scheme, Mama Feathering finding out that Penelope's Lady Whistledown, and then Colin and Eloise finding out about the blackmail, and then all of us finding out that Miss Penelope has made over $10,000 in her endeavors as Lady Whistledown, which was probably the craziest part, the craziest thing I learned in these first few minutes. Not about any other information, not about the blackmail, nothing. It's about her being like, yeah, I've made more than 10K. I've made a little bit more than 10K, for being honest. And I'm just like, good for you, honey. Literally so awesome, slay. Good for you. Anyway, Colin attempts to talk to Cressida to like talk her out of her blackmail scheme, but he fails very miserably. And she's like, no, now I want double the money, actually. So give me $20,000. It's not dollars. I know that, pounds, whatever, but I'm just gonna say dollars because I'm stupid. Sorry about it. Whoops. She's like, I want 20K and I want it by the end of this ball, or I'm telling everybody the morning after, whatever. Yeah, so he fails miserably. But the one good thing that came out of that conversation is I think he finally came to the understanding of why Penelope decided to be Whistledown and why she's been doing it. He finally came full circle and was like, I get it now, and I'm understanding her, and I love her, and she is Whistledown. Whistledown is her. They can't like be separate, like they are one. I feel like that's when he finally like clicked, realized it all, you know what I mean? I love Violet and Lady Danbury's friendship. I feel like I did not talk about that as much as I should have, but their friendship is just so cute. They're besties, and we finally kind of like talked about, hinted at a bit-ish of Lady Danbury like having a little something with Violet's dad at some point, which if you watch the Queen Charlotte spinoff, you would already like know about that. But yeah, we finally kind of hinted at that, and we talked about that because I was wondering if like Violet knew that piece of information, and that all came up because now Violet is gonna start connecting with Lady Danbury's brother, which is another little arc that I'm not opposed to. I just want her to be happy and find love. She's like the queen, mayor, president of Lover Girl Nation. Like she is the lover girl. She just wants all of her kids to fall in love, have the happiest love story that she had, and I believe she wants to also fall in love again, which is good for her. Do it, and I hope Lady Danbury's brother makes her happy. And just like Lady Danbury said, if he messes things up, I will be choosing you over him. I fully stand with her, and I fully agree with that. If he screws things up, Miss Violet, I will be standing right there with you, honey. Like, I don't care. I will support you no matter what. I love you. Hold on. There we go. Next, we have a very sweet moment between Penelope and her mom. I love like moments like that where things just finally are like clicking into place. Like people that had little tiffs and like little arguments with each other, they're just finally coming around and realizing like, hey, we should be good. Especially when it comes to like parent stuff or like sibling stuff. Like I love those kind of like peacemakings and like reconciliations, because it's just so like we both just want what's best for each other. Anytime it comes with like familial stuff, like we just both want what's best for each other. In some ways we're so alike, and maybe that's why we kind of like disagree on a lot. lot, or like we argue so much, whatever. And that's so like Penelope and her mom coded of like, we're kind of so alike at the end of the day. We both have like different ways of like how we decide to do things, but at the end of the day, we both are kind of doing it for the same reason, even though we're doing two different things, you know? Yeah. Anyway, Francesca's getting married and moving to Scotland. Cool. Fun. Awesome. And double anyway, Benedict and his lady friend Tilly, I believe that is her name, they break up because she wants something serious and he does not want something serious at all, and he just wants to be free. Keep being free, keep exploring your sexuality if that's what you want to do. I'll support you either way, Benedict. My funny little guy, I love him. And then after that, slightly-ish, I think like literally right after that moment, I can't remember fully now. My mind is in a different, everything's blended, everything's blending together. I don't know, blending together. I don't know. But I just know at some point next, we get a Eloise ex Benedict swing set scene, and I loved that. That's literally their place. Them on the swing set having a cute little heart-to-heart moment, you know, talking about their problems, gibbing and gabbing to each other. Those are the moments I live for and die for. Like, so cute. Season 1 coded. I loved it. And I also love the last line that he says during that scene, which I'll insert here, hopefully.
There's one thing I do know. We should not let so long pass again between us before we meet on these swings to be entirely confused together.
Next, Penelope's dress for her sister's ball that they threw, and then the red lip that she also had for that moment. Awooga, awooga, awooga. I love you, Penelope. I love you, Nicola Coughlan. Love you. Mwah. Okay, and then her publicly outing herself to everyone at that ball, and also the queen, was crazy, but it worked out in the end, so slay, woo, awesome, good for you. But that was like a crazy little moment. I was like absolutely gobsmacked. Oh, and I officially love where we're going with the Francesca and Eloise and Scotland storyline. And now I'm wondering, so is that going to be season 4 or like what's going on? But I'm intrigued either way. Michaela Sterling. We have finally introduced a black woman love interest. I'm assuming that she would be the love interest, but it was kind of giving like very like obvious, like Francesca was looking a bit enamored when she met Miss Michaela. So we finally have a black woman introduced as love interest. Woo! I'm excited for that, baby. And then also Francesca falling for the cousin is gonna be bonkers, and I'm quite interested to see that. I love, like I said, I love stakes, I love drama, I love like forbidden things that like are kind of complicated. I love that vibe. Let's see how that works. And then also the fact that Eloise is gonna be like going with them to Scotland, that's like a cool arc that I think will be really fun. And like I said, I'm wondering, is that where season 4 is gonna go, or like what's going on with Benedict? Because what's going on with that storyline, I don't really get it, but I'm excited for wherever we decide to go with him, because like I said, that's my funny little guy, and I'll be happy with whatever they choose to do for him, I guess. But from what the vibe of like how things ended for the episode and for the season, it was giving like we're going to Scotland season 4, which I could be down with solely for Eloise. Because thinking about it, everybody else is kind of like happy and in love back at home, so I guess we should go somewhere else for a bit. I don't know. We're seeing season 4 like in 3 years maybe, so I'm not even that like pressed or worried about that, to be honest. The episode ends with them in their little carriage about to go off to Scotland. Francesca, Kilmartin, I think his name is John. Don't hold me to that. But Francesca, Eloise, and John maybe, and also the cousin going to Scotland. So we'll see what happens there. Maybe that's where we're going for season 4, baby. But then we have a little epilogue moment where Penelope had a baby. I don't think they said the name. I wish we kind of knew. But they had a baby. Colin wrote his book, and then Penelope decided to retire, whistle down, and now she's finally writing under her own name, which is awesome. You know, all's well that ends well. Happily ever after. We love it. We love to see it. Good for them. Good for everyone. Everyone seems happy. And that's that. That was season 3, part 2 of Bridgerton. That was just season 3 of Bridgerton, period. And we're done now. That's that for this video. Thank you for sticking around. Doing it this way, I don't know if I liked it more. Did you like it more? Did you like more of the episode by episode reaction vibe? Or would you like a watch everything, me talk about everything at the end vibe? Let me know. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do when I watch The Bear season 3, which is coming very, very soon. And I'm very, very excited. Iowa Debris director debut. Let me not talk about that right now. That's another video. That's something completely different. Let me not talk about that right now. But anyway, see y'all later. Good night. Bye. Thank you.